The Heiress Buried Alive. The True Story of Barbara Mackle. Location: Georgia, USA. December 1968. Intro: Hook on a cold. December morning in 1968, a young woman vanished without a trace. Her name: Barbara Mackle, age 20, an heiress from one of Florida's wealthiest families. But what happened next was beyond anyone's imagination. She wasn't just kidnapped, she was buried alive. The setup. Barbara was a student at Emory University in Atlanta. Right before Christmas break, she caught the Hong Kong flu. Her mother, Jane, drove up from Florida to care for her. They stayed at a quiet motel in Decatur, Georgia, room 137. At 4 a.m. on December 17th, a knock on the door. Two men, one dressed like a police officer, claimed there'd been an accident. When Jane opened the door, they barged in. Jane was tied up. Barbara, taken, dragged into a car, into the darkness, the burial. The kidnappers were ready. They had built a fiberglass coffin. Inside, a small lamp, a gallon of water laced with sedatives, protein bars, a pump for air. They placed Barbara inside. Then they buried her in the woods of Gwinnett County, 1.5 meters underground. Imagine that. No light, no time, no clue if you'll ever be found. The FBI gets involved. Meanwhile, Jane Mackle escaped and called the police. The FBI arrived within hours. A ransom note had been left. "We are holding your daughter. Do not involve the police. $500,000. Instructions will follow." Barbara's father was Robert Mackle, millionaire businessman. He agreed to pay without hesitation. The first ransom drop? A failure. The kidnappers spotted agents nearby and fled. But they had made a mistake. They used the alias George Deacon. The FBI traced the name to a former university worker in Miami. Clues, pressure, and a break. The FBI discovered Deacon was really Gary Stephen Christ, a medical school dropout. Brilliant. Dangerous. He had an accomplice, Ruth Eisenman Shear, the first woman ever on the FBI's most wanted list. Christ called back. He gave vague directions to Barbara's location. Pine Woods, 2 miles off Buford Highway. Hundreds of agents rushed to search the forest. Then, tapping. They heard it. They dug. Fast. The rescue. After 83 hours underground, Barbara Mackle was pulled from the coffin. She was cold, weak, but alive, smiling, grateful. She had survived 3.5 days buried in a box. The photo of Barbara wrapped in a blanket, surrounded by FBI agents, became iconic. The arrests and aftermath. Gary Christ was captured days later on a boat in Florida. He had the money and a plan to disappear. Ruth was caught in Oklahoma weeks later. Christ got a life sentence, but was paroled in 1979 after just 10 years. He even got a license to practice medicine before being arrested again. Ruth served 7 years, then was deported. Barbara? She wrote a book, 83 Hours Till Dawn. She married, raised children, and lived quietly. Closing reflection. Barbara Mackle's story is one of endurance, hope, and survival. 83 hours underground, in total darkness, with no idea if help was coming. But she made it. She became the face of strength, the symbol of don't give up. So ask yourself, could you survive? Subscribe for more true crime stories that are too wild to be fiction. Comment below, what would you do in Barbara's place?